Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Thrills Alexander, and welcome to Fantasy Baseball Matchup Preview Show, Week 3. Let's get it, dude. So, first and foremost, I'd like to apologize for being tardy to the party this week and being completely absent from the party last week. That's very uncharacteristic of your host, and I can assure you that we won't have those issues going forward. The technical difficulties we were dealing with the last couple weeks, they have been handled thoroughly by the IT team. I can't thank those guys enough, so appreciate you guys out there getting me all situated. 2 weeks in to the Fantasy Baseball BFFL. We got 1/3 of the teams 2-0, 1/3 0-2, and 1/3 1-1. You talk about slicing a pie nice and even. Couldn't do it any better if we tried. Gotta say right now, most surprising 0-2 start's gonna have to go to the commish. One Stick Stickley, former champ, all-time commish, all-time dickhead, Ben Bedell. I expected a lot more from his team out of the gate. He seemed happy on draft day. Looking at his team, it seemed like a real hitter squad right there, and he just really hasn't found his mojo yet to get the season started. Very untypical of Benson, usually very quick starter, so this is cause for concern if I'm him. Least surprising, Roger Klotz. You got stuck with a sneed stink, all right? Nothing you can really do about that, buddy. Nobody's winning with that squad. I mean, myself or Alex Harbert, quite possibly the greatest fantasy player of all time, couldn't do diddly poo with that squad, as Jim Moore might say. I really got to say, I hope Billy paid your league dues this year, because having to pay $100 to manage that bunch of bums, that's a real bum-er, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's get to the matchups. Enough chit-chat about the last couple weeks. Let's just hit it to it. First matchup, we want to talk about this. We got Flag versus Drank Thomas. Now, Flag, new name, same squadron leader. All right, you're one of the two teams in this league with an ERA sub-3, along with a whip of sub-1. I gotta say, that's pretty darn impressive. I mean, when you look at what you got out there, across the pitching landscape, just seeing that is, it's mind-boggling right now. We've got teams in this league that are sitting with ERAs over like 12 on a day-to-day basis. So to be under 3 with a whip of under 1, I got to say, you're doing pretty good there. You, along with Woodburgers, are just the only two teams in the league to have those stats. Looking at your offense, it's very, very surprising to see these players when I look at it. It seems like quite a hodgepodge of players without name recognition outside of the Beebs. And, God, just my all-time man crush, Bryce Harper. God, it doesn't matter what jersey he's in. He looks good hitting those home runs, just knocking them over the fence. And Alex, I'm super #jelly of you for owning Bryce Harper. Drank, on the other hand, former back-to-back champion of the league. 2 times in a row, this man won. And he's 0-2, and his offense couldn't do anything if it wanted to. It couldn't open this sliding glass door with a baseball bat, all right? It couldn't hit a baseball into my pool from the deck, all right? It's embarrassing right now. It is quite embarrassing. I know he's got to be just looking at it week to week thinking, wow, that J.D. Martinez for a Big Maple trade has really bit me right in the tuchus right now, because J.D. Martinez is popping it at about 330 batting average with a few dingers and RBIs up there in Beantown, and you could really use that on your squad right now. Charlie Blackmon seems to have really hit, him and Father Time seem to be going toe-to-toe right now. I mean, even in Coors Field, the man's hitting under 200. It pains me to see that, but I mean, we all knew it was going to happen eventually. Now without Arenado there to help him out, it's really just him and Trevor Story and not much else in Colorado that I see. I mean, maybe Brendan Rodgers, maybe Garrett Hampson. I mean, if we want to count those guys. CJ Crone. I mean, we got some guys. Tapia. I mean, nobody cares about him. All right, but if your pitching can do anything, it's going to have to be Walker Buehler leading the brigade, all right? Your offense, they're dead in the water right now. I mean, I'm looking at Adriana, Chiara, Razor Ramon. You better be lucky Chris Bryant's doing what he should have been doing the past couple of years and playing somewhat decent ball up there in Chi-Town. Overall, though, I got to say, if Walker doesn't start leading your pitching staff, Jose Barrios, he's always been, is he going to make the leap to grade A starter? Or is he just going to stay at number 2 or 3? Kenley Jensen, he was on his last legs last year. I don't know what he's doing this year. So I got to say, in this matchup, it's going to one Flag right there. So Let's give it up to A-Harb right there, picking up the dub over one Drank Thomas. All right, let's look at matchup number 2 of the week, 2 of 6. And this we're going to look at one Corporal Dwayne Hicks going up against back in 2019 champion, back in the dark ages, Tim Savdog, the Nada Army. Now, it takes a lot to shut Thrills up. We all know that. I'll just run my yap until the cows come home. But Savdog, I said you're going to start 0-3 and you'd be shutting your mouth. We wouldn't have to hear about you're the Savdog, former champ, blah, 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 bullshit. But you've come out the gates 2-0. There's nothing. You've won you've beaten everybody that's been put in front of you. I can't say anything else. You are 2-0. You were doing great right there. Behind that pitching staff, which is amazing. You don't even have one of the best whips ERA combo like I mentioned in matchup number 1 right there, like we saw with Billy and A-Harp. But your staff, I mean, good God almighty. I am envious of that staff every single day. I don't know what, I wouldn't know what to do if I had a starter that could go more than 5.5 innings and strike out more people than he walked. I mean, that would be fantastic. And you get it in just spades over here, man. Garrett Cole, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, even Hyun Jung Roo is still showing out like he was in Los Angeles a few years back. So that staff is fantastic. This offense, there's like 3 players on this team that most people would want, man. It's Will Smith playing every two out of 3 days out there in Los Angeles. Haas Daddy. It's Haas Daddy. He excites nobody at first base. Jazz Chisholm, though, he brings some excitement. I ain't going to lie right there. Josh Donaldson, I'm sure he's getting batting practice. He's going to pull a hammy and be out 2 to 3 weeks here in the coming games. So I would try to upgrade that offense. Unlike other people in this league, you got the pitching. You should be dishing it out there, trying to pick up some offensive pieces, seeing if people can bite. Because pitching ain't gonna be cheap this year. Now, Dwayne Hicks, opposite end of the spectrum, looking at 0-2 in his first 2 weeks out there, and that's once again D-Harb he's usually a front runner most of the year. 2 years ago, we saw what he is capable of when he lost to Savdog in the championship in the World Series. So we know what the man is capable of doing. But right now, 0-2 out of the gate. Ryan McMahon, he's somebody that, oh man, everybody's like, this was finally the year. I've owned him 14 times every year. Drop ad, drop ad, drop ad. And this is the year he wants to finally put it all together. I'm upset by that. I'm upset that I don't own Xander Bogaerts as shortstop too. I'm upset that I can't look at a roster and be like, I'm competitive without Christian Yelich and Anthony Rendon. So that right there, DR might be on 2. He knows it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is just a small sample size on his way forward. I will say, he's another team in this league. He needs to first call up B. Green and be like, thank you for dropping Ryan Presley. I don't know why you would drop an all-star closer like that, but thank you. Picking him up, paid off for him. Zach Gallen, call him and say thank you for not injuring your forearm even more in batting practice for no reason. And then call Denison Lamet and tell him, fuck off, because you wasted your doll hairs on him right there in his busted up elbow. So that's what I would do right there. And then after I made those calls, I'd call Savdog and say, good week, man. You beat me. I'm 0-3, and Savdog has shut Thrills up even further by going to 3-0. All right, next matchup, we're going to look at the Doc that we were just talking about. That's right, I'm talking about one B. Green, Avoid the Noid, going up against Chi-Town extraordinaire, Billington Baseball. Now, Avoid the Noid, tough week last week, led Monday through probably Saturday afternoon, at which point in time his team stopped playing baseball and started playing sit on your ass ball and do nothing. Rymart's team last week took advantage of that, mixed it up, pulled out the victory late over Avoid the Noid. Now, Avoid the Noid, I look at your team, I like what I see in certain spots. One spot in particular involves Ronald Acuna Jr. Another spot involves Eduardo Escobar. Man, that was a good pickup. That was a real good pickup. And then you look at that first baseman out in Los Angeles, and no, I'm not talking about Bellinger. No, I'm not talking about Pujols. I'm talking about Jared Walsh, all right? I wanted him. Jaycock wanted him. Many people in the league wanted him in draft day. You had the cojones, the huevos, to actually sack up and pay for him, and it's paying dividends so far this year. I'm still baffled about the Ryan Presley drop. Dansby, that happened last night in anger. Who can really blame you right there? But your staff with Hader and Iglesias, I mean, you got some closers right there, but why would you not keep Presley? Why would you just give him away like that? And plus, I mean, I guess you're just thinking Glass Daddy's going to do it all year, be the Cy Young winner, strike out 12 guys a game, and who am I to say he's not? Who's to say he's not? I mean, he's Glass Daddy. All right, Billington Baseball, on the other hand, coming out the gates hot, technically in first place at 2-0. How Yahoo determines that he's 2-0 and in first place and not one of the other teams, that's beyond me. But hey, Yahoo does Yahoo. Billy Baseball just, he must be run by ESPN because 8 of his offensive players come from those big market, Chicago or LA or New York right there. Chicago, New York, Chicago, New York. Well, there's other places to get players from. You can get them from Kansas City. You can get them from Cincinnati. You can get them from Detroit, so choose. You don't have to just be like big city watching out, where's the big money at. I like what you're doing. They're trying to get, national publicity, get your players on the screen so you can see them all the time. It makes sense to me. But, share the wealth, man. I wouldn't mind a couple players from Chicago. I wouldn't mind a New Yorker or two. I'll tell you something else I wouldn't mind is Jeff McNeil. I wouldn't mind having Jeff McNeil, but somebody dropped him too. Who might that be? I don't know. Jeff McNeil is going to be a quality player this year. Garrett Hampson has been a pickup of extraordinary proportions for Billy over there. He's putting it together out there in Colorado. Maybe batting average isn't like 270, 280 yet, but the man's stealing bases. He's hitting a few dingers. He's driving in runs, scoring runs. Especially the stealing bases part, that is a must-have in fantasy this year, and he's got it with both Hampson and he's got Mondesi, the 65 stolen base, just waiting to happen on his injured list. His pitching too. I mean, that pitching staff right there. I think Billy Baseball might be the most complete team in the league right now, but give it a few weeks, let him get bored over the summer, have one too many, High Life, Man Law beers. Whatever it may be. I said High Life. I meant Miller Lite. My bad. Not the High Life. We know who drinks the High Life back in the day. I'm talking about Billy getting a little sauced up and making a few dunderheaded trades. I would be not opposed to that at all. So, Billy, let's hope that happens. And this week, I'm going to tell you what's happening. You're winning. You're going to 3-0. Avoid the Noid going to 1-2 and into total meltdown mode. But it's B Green. It's to be expected. We're waiting for him to make the playoffs and make some noise. Is this the year? Doubtful. Nobody thought Steven Matz was going to be this amazing this year, and he has, so who knows? Who knows? This world is doing crazy things right now. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the matchup that might be drawing some eyes this week, and we're talking about Basington Ball versus the Commish. The Commish has just not been up to where his standards have been set in years past. Basington Ball, on the other hand, has not been doing the normal tactics of him in years past. Are these coincidi? Probably so. Probably so. But Stick, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, really underperforming right now. The most shocking 0-2 in the league. And look no further than hitting. Look no further than pitching. He is one of teams in the league. His first, hold on, let me double check my stats. One of the worst offenses in the league through 2 weeks, batting 240, 722 on base plus slugging. Oh, this is another one is OPS. And 214 total bases. Worst offense in the league right now. And that's not me being mean. That's just stating facts. It's one of the only staffs in the league with a K per 9 below 9. Below 9.2, in fact. Sitting at 7.7. So not only has Ben not hitting, his team isn't pitching. And you look at it this week, you see the bats waking up. He's up to 284 with an 841. You look at the staff, 596, 148, 842. His staff right now is in shambles. Julio out there in LA thankfully did something for him this week because Dylan Bundy, a man that I thought could be a Cy Young candidate this year, has crapped out. Zach Greinke, what are you going to get from him? 6 innings, 1 earned, or 4 innings, 6 earned? I don't know. Does he know? Is he going to throw the ball up there at 52 miles an hour and just see if somebody can knock it 500 feet? I don't know. And then you got the eternal DLer in Steven Strasburg, another man that I wanted this year. Glad I lost that bidding war at this point in time because I don't need any other pitchers on the DL right now. Jumping over to Basington Ball, the man who makes no trades yet. One single trade, JD Martinez getting acquired, James Paxton going away. Worked out wondrous, 100% winner in that one. Number 1 offense in the BFFL. Number 1 offense, 1 or 1A with mix it up. 1A in shit-ass pitching also. Worst 2 staffs in the league. I'm tossing softballs to the other team. ERA just south of 5. I'm talking 4.89. We got league leaders going at 2.85, 2.89. 304. I'm sitting at 489. if Blake Snell doesn't figure out how to find a strike zone and last more than 5 innings, if the relievers stop giving up 1 run for every 1 inning pitched, and if Jesus goes and finds Jesus, that would be great. Because right now, I don't see it happening for that staff. Gonna have to deal some of that offense in order to get some pitching. But will the trades happen? I don't know. I don't know right now. I don't know. I do know that Basington Ball is predicted to be the winner this week, even though the matchup right now is mega close. Mega close. All right, so let's move on to our next matchup here. And let's look at Mr. Pickles versus Ryan, a man that has equally been upset with the lack of baseball videos as anybody else in this league, along with Sabdog. Sabdog, your boy Thrills came back this week to host a show. That was for you, buddy. That was for you. Now, Mr. Pickles, I love the Dedication League. Nobody loves it more than I do. And in this facial hair matchup, the stash versus the beard, I gotta say, in terms of facial hair, this is one time where I prefer stash over a beard right there. You know, this is Thrills 3 weeks non-shaven. I'm just kidding. It might be like a week non-shaven. I got the baby face. Wish I could grow a beard like that, so I always be jealous, but I can grow a stash, and I love the stash. So we're going to give Jay Cock the advantage there in facial hair. And then I'm going to jump over and give Ryan Mart the advantage everywhere else. Because Francisco Lindor hadn't hit his weight. Trent Grisham finally came back. He's starting to do something. I love that guy. Love that guy out there in San Diego. Santander's back on the DL. And anytime you can own Mike Trout, you're sitting good in the outfield. All right? Pitching staff. Oh, man, was it not awesome seeing Pablo and Max Fried jack each other up to last week, 1 week ago yesterday at Truist Park in that football game of a score that we saw, you know, whatever it was, 14-8, 21-13. Who knows what it ended at? It ended in a Braves loss. I do know that. And it ended with Jay Cock going on the slackboard and wanting to dump those players onto somebody else as quickly as possible, putting them on the trade block after such a sweet start. Now Max Fried is unfortunately on the DL, but maybe that's going to help him out in the long run, keep the innings pitched low on the arm, and get his mind right back there. Ryan Martin, on the other hand, woo boy, love Corbin Burns. Had him last year in the wrapped up in the shortened, abridged league from last year, and loved owning him every second of it. Yu Darvish wanted him. Charlie Morton could have taken him. Love that staff you got going on right there. Not the best, but I love it. And right now, it's not very deep. I mean, you've only have enough to fill out the necessary spots, which is kind of weird. Not many high-name relievers, but high-quality relievers is what I see out there. High leverage. I like that. What I don't really like, though, is you picking up McKinstry. Why? McKinstry. I can't even say his name because it's Kinstry, all right? We don't pick up players with the MC at the beginning of their name. Shouldn't be picking up Jeff Neal. You shouldn't be picking up Zach Kinstry. I don't want to see it because I could have taken both of those players. Would have liked it right there. Love the Austin Meadows. And Shohei Ohtani, I'm not a big fan of him only because he's only in the utility spot. But I am a fan of you getting revenge for me saying that his mustache is better than your beard because you're winning this week. Mix it up. You are coming out on top. Which leaves us with our last matchup of the week. The Doug. The Doug matchup. We got Roger Klotz. We got Percy Feamer. We got the newbie Ryan. Welcome to the league. Once again, this year, the voice of the league, the face of the league, Thrills Alexander here. Going up against Big Ant right there. Big Ant came back, beat the commish, back, talked some shit, backed it up for a change. But Ant, it can't continue. There's no way that this team of players is playoff worthy. There's just no way. I can't see it. I'm blinded to this actually happening because your staff is god awful. Just god awful right now. No Lance Lynn. Giolito got jacked up last start. Will it continue? I don't know. Probably not. He's pretty damn solid. But Valdez, Arihara, you're just picking up these scrubs, man. Kyle Hendricks hadn't been the real Kyle Hendricks. I do like Brubaker. Matt Boyd, he's living large right now, man. K-9 ain't that great, but everything else looks pretty darn tits to me. All right. And I do love the fact that you have Nolan. I don't love Mr. Tatis's busted shoulder, and it's popping in and out of socket every time. But I might love it enough to predict you to win this week. On the other hand, we got Walker, Texas Ranger. I'm sure we're just going to call you that real soon. there's not much to like on this team, buddy. There is really not much to like. You got Trey Turner, you got Bo Bichette, you got Didi, you got Polanco, you have 15 shortstops. You got to trade one. You got to try to find some taker right there. You got lucky. You got DeGrom. That was one pick that not even Austin could have messed up, and he got that one right. Soroka maybe coming back. His shoulder's hurting. His Achilles is still repaired. I don't know what you're going to get out of this squad, bro. I really don't. And I know you were second place in the league last year. Super stud. You're going to have to do something quick, fast, in a hurry. If you get in too big of a hole in this league, the last 10 weeks of the season are going to be worthless. All right, I'll tell you that now. The last thing you want is to spend the last 10 weeks of the year just playing spoiler. All right, that's no fun. All right, so this week, I can't see it any other way other than to see Anthony and Percy Femur pull it out on top. I do enjoy the fact that he changed their name to Roger Klotz to counteract that. That was pretty tight. Whoever did, I love the fact that these names match up. That's what I'm trying to say. Percy Femur, you're coming out on top. Ant's going to 2-1. To recap, we got Basington Ball, Flag, Nada Army, Woodburgers, Percy Farmer, and Mix It Up, picking up the dubs this week. All right. I hope you boys and girls enjoy this. Until next time, we'll see you later.